साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सूर निरागस हो गणपति सूर निरागस हो सूर निरागस हो गणपति सूर निरागस हो सूर निरागस हो गणपति सूर निरागस हो शुभ नयना करुणामय गौरी हर श्री वरद विनायक शुभ नयना करुणामय गौरी हर श्री वरद विनायक ओंकार गणपति अधिपति सुखपति छंदपति कंदपति लीन निरंतर लीन निरंतर सूर निरागस हो सूर निरागस हो गणपति सूर निरागस हो मोरया मोरया गणपति बप्पा मोरया 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 मंगलमूर्ति मोरया गजवदना तू सुख करता गजवदना तू दुख करता गजवदना मोरया 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 गणपति बप्पा मोरया गजवदना सुख करता गजवदना तू दुख करता गजवदना मोरया मोरया सूर निरागस हो सूर निरागस सुमनानी भरली ओंझळ नित्यरेती भावी चरणावर कान्ही बालक सुमधुर हासी भावतसे भाहो सुरातुन ओंकार छंदपति गंधपति सुरपति लीन निरंतर हो, लीन निरंतर हो। सूर निरागस हो, सूर निरागस हो, गणपति सूर निरागस हो। मोरया मोरया गणपति बाप्पा मोरया, मोरया मोरया मंगल मूर्ति मोरया। गज गदगा तू सुख करता, गज गदगा तू दुख करता, गज गदगा मोरया मोरया, मोरया मोरया गणपति बाप्पा मोरया, मोरया मोरया मंगल मूर्ति मोरया। गज गदगा तू सुख करता, गज गदगा तू दुख करता, गज गदगा मोरया मोरया। निरागस हो, सूर निरागस हो, सूर निरागस हो। Sai Ram, offering our loving pranams at the divine lotus feet of our ever-present Swami. I must say at the outset, you all have tremendous amount of stamina. So, for us to sit over here and do something is okay, but I think for you all to be sitting over there and just continuously listening, my pranams to all of you. So, once again, we are here for another session. And the idea of this session was to sing a few songs. But I always thought that just singing songs is equivalent to probably you listening to American Idol or you listening to Indian Idol, which is not the purpose, isn't it? So, what we have tried to do this evening is to sing, of course, Swami's glory, but also contemplate on his glory. And so we started with this Ganesh Vandana. And it's a very beautiful song which is in Marathi. What I would like to bring your attention to is this word called Sur Niragas Ho. Do you know what is the meaning of Niragas? It's one of the most beautiful words. It means when we look at the face of a baby and it smiles, what is that expression? That expression is one of absolutely pure love. There is not one bit of conditionality attached to the smiling of the child, isn't it? It is pure, it is innocent, it is naive, and yet it is divine. What we are asking the Lord here today is Sur Niragas Ho. We are telling the Lord, make my sur like that, innocent, pure, divine. And when we talk about sur, we are not just talking about the singing part of it, but anything that comes out of our mouth, let it be innocent. Right? So that is the prayer. I'm reminded of the 9-point code of conduct. You all are aware of the 9-point code of conduct. Do you know in the 9-point code of conduct there are 2 points, there are 2 codes which are directly related to speech. Can you name them? Don't talk ill of others, especially in their absence. And second one is talking softly and sweetly. So do you know there's a little story. Once when all the organization people were sitting around Swami and they were planning to introduce this 9-point code of conduct. It was in 1980 on Swami's 55th birthday. And, they said that all members of the organization must follow the 9-point code of conduct. Swami Karunyananda was pressing Swami's feet at that moment. And so while all of this discussion was going on, he asked a question of Swami. He said, Swami, how do we ensure that everybody is following this code of conduct? We can only recommend it, but how do we ensure that actually people are following it? And you know what was Swami's answer? Swami's answer was, how we will know whether they are following it or not is there in the 2 points that I have embedded here. What is that? Related to speech. If you have truly followed all the other 7 conducts, code of conducts, right? Automatically our speech becomes soft and sweet, and we will stop talking ill about others. So in fact, this code of conduct is also the outcome of our spiritual sadhana, as much as it is part of our spiritual sadhana. So if you ever wonder, am I really growing spiritually? Okay, just look at your own speech and you will know. And that is what we are praying for in this song. Now, whenever I sing or whenever we think about Ganesha, I'm sure one of the first images of Ganesha that comes in front of our eyes, at least for me, is our Parthi Ganesha. Right? I always call him the chief PRO of Prashanti Nilayam. The chief public relations officer. Correct, no? Because as soon as we enter, the first thing we see is him. And especially, come exam time, come crisis time, there'll be 108 coconuts, 540 coconuts, depend all numbers, multiples of 9. And also pradakshinas. Whoever wants a job, visa, into some Ivy League college, wants to clear some exam, Ganesha, please. You have a problem in ashram, come and tell Ganesha. Something goes well, come and tell Ganesha. So I still remember when after the darshan, when I would sit, when I would come back and I would be talking to my mother around Ganesha, next day, it happened many times. Swami would come and tell me what I was talking to my mother. So I always used to wonder, how does he know? He's not telling me any other conversation, only the conversation that I'm having with my mother, that he's telling. So I always used to think this Ganesha is hearing. Just like Geeta auntie was talking about those big ears of Sai Gita, Ganesha also has big ears, no? So he's hearing and he's reporting to Swami. So I used to, what I used to do? Very, very naively, I used to take my mother away. You come little, this fellow should not hear. I used to take my mom a little away from Ganesha. So it is that Ganesha that we are, and one thing that comes to my mind is when in 2011, when Swami left to the hospital, who were we supposed to pray to? Right? The person who receives all our prayers, he himself needed all the prayers, so to speak. He doesn't need it. So I used to always go to Ganesha. I used to say, what are you doing, boss? Your parents are in hospital, you're sitting here. Right? So that was in fact, a time when I became extremely close to Ganesha, and I have some beautiful experiences when it comes to that Ganesha. And so today I'm going to use, him as the author of this Sai Katha. So we will listen to the entire glory of Swami as told by Ganesha, as imagined by me. So one of the feelings when Swami left us in 2011 is captured in this song, and that was how we cried to Ganesha. And so here is another beautiful song which comes to mind when we think of how we miss Swami's physical presence. O Sai mere मन मेरो लागे ना तेरे बिना रे अखियाँ तेरे दर्शन की प्यासी। मन मेरो लागे ना तेरे बिना रे, मन मेरो लागे ना तेरे बिना रे, अखियाँ तेरे दर्शन की प्यासी, अखियाँ तेरे दर्शन की प्यासी। जीवन ज्योत जलाओ साई मेरे, जीवन ज्योत जलाओ साई मेरे, मन मेरो लागे ना तेरे बिना रे, मन मेरो लागे ना तेरे बिना रे। तेरी छवि अति सुंदर पेश है, घुंघराले निराले। तेरी छवि अति सुंदर पेश है, घुंघराले निराले। नयन कमल अति मोहक मादक, रंजित ये अधरा रे। इस छवि को हम मन में रख कर तेरे गुण को गाए, तेरे गुण को गाए। मन मेरो लागे ना तेरे बिना रे। तेरे बिना जग माया का ये बंधन टूट न पाए। तेरे बिना जग माया का ये बंधन टूट न पाए। जीवन नैया पग पग डोले, तू ही पार लगा ले। तेरी शरण में लेके प्रभु तुम कृपा रश्मि बरसा दे, कृपा रश्मि बरसा दे। मन मेरो लागे ना तेरे बिना रे, मन मेरो लागे ना तेरे बिना रे, अखियाँ तेरे दर्शन की प्यासी, अखियाँ तेरे दर्शन की प्यासी। जीवन ज्योत जलाओ साई मेरे, जीवन ज्योत जलाओ साई मेरे, मन मेरो लागे ना तेरे बिना रे, मन मेरो लागे ना तेरे बिना साई। Now in this song we are saying, मन मेरो लागे ना तेरे बिना रे, अखियाँ तेरे दर्शन की प्यासी. I'm sure in each one of our hearts in 2011, that was the one prayer, right? And so I remember praying like this to Ganesha, and I felt Ganesha kind of telling me that none of us can do anything about what has been decided by the Lord. In fact, there is a very interesting story about, the Ganesha and the Kartikeya. And this was told in Swami's presence when Kartikeya, the Lord Kartikeya was installed, where the Kartikeya Swami temple is. So one of our students had once again imagined a beautiful story. The story goes like this, that Narada had gone to Kailasha. Okay, and this was sometime before 1926. Okay, now don't tell me, I'll tell you why I'm saying before 1926. So he goes there and he finds that there is no Shiva and Parvati. Okay, and so he asks, where is everybody? And only Kartikeya is around. Sorry, not 1926, 1997. Yeah, so only Kartikeya is around. So he asks, where is everybody? So then Kartikeya apparently tells Ganesha, where are you, Narada? He tells Narada, where are you? You seem to be kind of out of touch. You are actually Triloka Sanchari, Narada is considered the CNN and BBC of the heavens. He is the one who broadcasts. He is the one who creates problems. Right? He goes and he, twists and turns. And so Kartikeya asks Narada, how do you not know about one of the biggest headlines? He says, what is the headline? He said, parents don't live here anymore. They don't live in Kailash. Why? Where have they gone? So you don't know their new address? Puttaparthi? Right? So both Shiva and Shakti have come to Puttaparthi. And he says, Ganesha? He says, Ganesha is there only at the gate. He's standing over there. So this is about the Ganesha, right? And so then he says, whoa, I didn't know that. I better go there. He says, yeah, if you want, come with me because I am also going over there. 1997, when he was when Kartikeya Swami was established there. So it's almost like Kartikeya telling, I am also going there. What am I going to do alone over here in Kailasha? Right? So we've had this kind of a conversation. So coming back to this 2011, I felt Ganesha telling me that, why he came, we did not know. Why he left, we did not know. But what if I tell you that there is something which is as powerful as his physical presence? What can be as powerful as his physical presence? So then Ganesha says, there is something which is as powerful, if not more powerful than his physical presence, and that is the story of his presence on earth. You see, Pandavas who lived with Krishna, they did not get mukti. But Parikshit, who listened to the story of Krishna, got mukti. Can you believe that? Which means living with Swami is not the ultimate deal. Okay? And this is, an absolute sense of hope for each and every one of us. For all those of us who feel that, I never got an opportunity to live with Swami. Don't have to worry about it at all. Because guess what? There is something which is more powerful, if not more, it is equally powerful, and that is listening to the glory of Swami. Listening to his story is as powerful as being with him. And that is what we will do today. So we will kick off the advent of the avatar in his own words. I'm sure you must have heard the beautiful poem, Ananda Balude, Tana Gumputo Adu Konagavache. Ramachandrude, Ramachandrudai, Tanavari Gurtimpa Tarali Vache. Correct? Do you know this is written by Swami and how Swami plays with the words? You know what he says? Nanda Balude, that Nanda's boy has come as Ananda Balude, has come as the blissful one. Ramachandrude, that Ramachandra has come as Aramachandra, the relaxed one. Right? Only Swami can play with these words. And he says, Tana Gumputo Adu Konagavache. You know what is Gumpu? Auntie was talking Bangalore Gumpu. Right? This morning she was talking. You know what is Gumpu? Gumpu means gang. Where is the Bangalore gang? She put it very nicely. Where is the Bangalore group, she said. But actually it is gang. Tana Gumputo Adu Konagavache. He has come here to play with his gang. Adu means to play. So, Ananda Balude has come as Ananda Baludai to play with his gang. Tana Gumputo Adu Konagavache. Ramachandrude, తన బంటులను కనుగొనగవచ్చే. బంటు మీన్స్ servants, slaves, but they are not like bonded slaves, not the slaves which were. These are those which love to serve. Means I am here to serve. Those are called bantus. Who are they? We are all bantus, right? We are all his bantus, right? So he says, I have come to identify who is my bantu, right? How beautifully he says. So this is that one song which we will sing, in which he says, Manishini Madhavuni Jeya Madine Swargamuga Marcha Madhavude Avatarincha Satya Sai Bhagavanuga. So we will listen to this song, right? ఆనంద బాలుడే ఆనంద బాలుడై తన గుంపుతో ఆడు కనుగొనగవచ్చే. ఆ రామచంద్రుడే రామచంద్రుడై తన బంటులను కనుగొనగవచ్చే. మనిషిని మాధవుని జయ మదినే స్వర్గముగ మార్చ మాధవుడే అవతరించ సత్య సాయి భగవాన్ ఎంత ప్రేమయో స్వామి ఎంత ప్రేమయో సత్య సాయి భగవాన్ ఎంత ప్రేమయో. మాధవుని జయ మదినే స్వర్గముగ మార్చ మాధవుడే అవతరించ సత్య సాయి భగవాన్ ఎంత ప్రేమయో స్వామి. ఈశ్వరాంబ ముద్దు బిడ్డడై నడయాడే శ్రీనివాసుడై. ఈశ్వరాంబ ముద్దు బిడ్డడై నడయాడే శ్రీనివాసుడై. ఈశ్వరుడే అవతరించే పవిత్ర భారతాన ఎంత పుణ్యమో మనదెంత పుణ్యమో. సత్య సాయి దర్శింప జన్మధన్యమో. మనిషిని మాధవుని జయ మదినే స్వర్గముగ మార్చ మాధవుడే అవతరించే సత్య సాయి భగవానుడు ఎంత ప్రేమయో స్వామి. సత్య సాయి భగవానుడు ఎంత ప్రేమయో. మతం పేర కులం పేర మత్సరాలు తగిననుచు మానవతను బోధించి ప్రేమ మతం స్థాపించ. మతం పేర కులం పేర మత్సరాలు తగిననుచు మానవతను బోధించి ప్రేమ మతం స్థాపించ. సంభవామి యుగే యుగే అని చాటిన రీతిగా సంభవామి యుగే యుగే అని చాటిన రీతిగా అవతరించెను ఆర్తజనుల ఆదుకొనగా. నీదు సన్నిధి మాకు So, just think about one fact. When Swami decided to come down on earth, if you were given a choice to come down on earth as God, just think about it. What do you think, what kind of circumstances will you choose? Have you ever thought about it? If we were to come down on earth, first of all, let me ask you this question. What country will you choose? United States? Powerful country. Obviously, if you want to launch your avatarhood, you should choose a place from where you can launch it easily. Right? So Europe, or maybe America. Right? Where did Swami choose? India. Okay. Right? There's nothing in India, right? There's nothing. India was not the place from where you can launch anything. It was not powerful at all. In fact, it was oppressed at that time. Okay. Second question. If you were asked, in a place like India, where would you choose to be born? What place will you choose? In India? Kashmir? You'll probably choose Bombay or New Delhi, right? Where the seat of power is, right? Like Lord Rama in Ayodhya, right? Or Lord Krishna in Mathura. Right? You will want to be born in a powerful place. Where did Swami choose? Puttaparthi. Puttaparthi was considered, there is something called Grama. Grama means village. But there is something which is smaller than a village. You know what is that? It's called Kugrama. Kugrama means hamlet. Not even village. Puttaparthi was called a Kugrama. And did you know that until 1950s, Puttaparthi did not even have its own pin code. Okay? Letters never came to Puttaparthi. Letters would come to Bukkapatnam. That is how backward it was. Okay? Swami chose to be born in such a village. Think about it. See, when God wants to, when God comes down on earth, you see what all He does. Okay, forget the place. Place and country is fine. What do you think, to what kind of parents should he be born to? If Lord has to come down, he should be born to some royal family. Because that's what till now he did, isn't it? Whenever he came before this. Of course, not in Shirdi Baba, but all the other avatars have been all royal families. Or at least some president or prime minister's child. God should be born like that, isn't it? It becomes easier to find my connections and create networks. But whom did Swami choose? Eswaramba and Peddamma, the most inconspicuous couple. Right? They didn't have any kind of education. Right? They did not come from some high class society. And lastly, the last question I want to ask you is, what time would you choose to come down on earth? If you were God and you had to come down on earth, you will come in order to establish yourself. You will come at a relatively stable period, isn't it? In the world history, you will come at a relatively stable when generally society is doing well, right? So that it becomes easier for them to adopt what you're trying to tell them. When did Swami come down? In between two world wars. In between the First World War and the Second World War, that is when Swami chose to come. Can you imagine how many things could go wrong actually? Sometimes I used to wonder, it is an avataric blunder. Right? You should have launched your avatarhood from somewhere else. But that is not how God works. Right? God comes and tells you, from where I can launch it from anywhere I want. Right? So just think about just the birth of Swami. Right? And so now we will listen to another song which talks about that birth and that mother, of Swami. It will be sung by our sisters here. This beautiful song that we all know, Janama Diya Tune Sai Ko. धन्य हो ईश्वरा The beauty of Eswaramba, many of you may not know. Did you know Swami was the fifth child of Eswaramba? Eighth child. But if you look at Swami's brothers, Sheshamaraju Garu, Parvatamma, Venkamma, that's all. How is Swami the eighth child? Yes. Did you know that Mother Eswaramba, just before Swami, she had 2 miscarriages, not 1. Can you imagine that? That she actually lost 2 children. And it is because of that that the Satyanarayana Puja, Vrata Puja was actually done, so that the child which was to come will be a healthy one. So it was Eswaramba Garu's mother-in-law who actually said that let us do Satyanarayana Vrata Puja. Little did they know that Satyanarayana himself was going to come. Correct? So this is, and it's very important that at least we as Sai devotees, we must know the life of Shri Satya Sai. Right? We all know about Ramayana. We all know about Mahabharata and Bhagavatam. The least that we should be able to know is about our own Swami, isn't it? If we do not know the stories of our own Swami, about his own life story, then there is something wrong. Right? So, this is how great Mother Eswaramba was. Right? Moving on. So now Swami's birth has happened. And of course, incredible miracles. We all know about that. About the serpent and about the various musical instruments. But did you know that right from Swami's childhood, the moment he would see someone, let's say begging, some beggar coming to the house, just imagine, Swami's family itself was not a very well-to-do family at all. By any stretch of imagination, they were not well-to-do. And so there would hardly be enough food in Swami's own house to feed their own family members. But if somebody comes at the doorstep, this little baby Satya used to crawl up to the entrance. Okay, and would make the mother come out. Okay, and even as a baby, Mother Eswaramba, it's documented in Venkama Garu's book, in Venkama Garu's diary notes. Okay, that Swami wouldn't eat. Swami will simply cry. And he would only stop crying as a baby after that food which was meant for him was given to that person. You see, from that age onwards, Swami was like that. Okay, we didn't know about these aspects. There was we all know about the Pandhari Bhajan group. We all have heard about Pandhari Bhajan group. Do you know how the Pandhari Bhajan group came into existence? It was a cholera epidemic that was sweeping across the villages. And cholera in those days was an incurable disease. It would simply take away hundreds of lives when it once would come. And it was to ward away cholera from entering into Puttaparthi that Swami formed this little bhajan group, and they would sing in the streets of Puttaparthi. And it so happened that cholera never came to Puttaparthi, needless to say. But what was very fascinating was all the now nearby villages, the word spread, hey, that there is one guy who sings bhajans on the roads of of their village, and because of that cholera doesn't come. And so Swami started getting invited, just like we get invited now to retreats. Swami used to get invited to all the nearby villages, and that is how the Pandhari Bhajan group came to be established. It was not like Swami randomly would just take a bunch of guys joblessly doing nothing. It was to tell the entire world that you chant the name of the Lord, it has that power within itself. Right? So what do you say? Shall we also just rewind and go back and join that Pandhari Bhajan group? Shall we do that? So let us feel as if all of us are little boys and girls, and let us enter into Satya's Pandhari Bhajan group and see how it would have possibly felt to be in that bhajan group. Okay? Kanada Raja Pandharicha, Kanada Raja Pandharicha, Kanada Raja Pandharicha. Veda nahi kalala, Veda nahi kalala, Antapar Raja Kanada Raja Pandharicha. प्रगटला असा विटेवर निराकार तो निर्गुण ईश्वर ससा प्रगटला असा विटेवर उभय ठेविले हात कटीवर उभय ठेविले हात कटीवर पुतळा चैतन्याचा कानडा राजा पंढरीचा कानडा राजा पंढरीचा हानाम्याची खीर चाखतो चोखोबाची पुरे राखतो हानाम्याची खीर चाखतो चोखोबाची पुरे राखतो पुरंदराचा परमात्मा पुरंदराचा परमात्मा नावी दामाजीचा कानडा राजा पंढरीचा कानडा राजा पंढरीचा कानडा राजा पंढरीचा विठ्ठल 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 राजा पंढरीचा. So we just imagine, that we are part of Satya's Pandhari Bhajan group and now it has passed. It has gone to another village. Okay? Maybe to Chattanooga now it is. So even as we trace now, we are, Satya, little Satya is around 10 years old. And did you know that Satya's parents, that is especially Pedda Vengamaraju and his eldest brother Sheshamaraju Garu, do you know what they wanted Satya to become? They always desired Satya to become a government officer. They wanted Satya to get a good job. Can you imagine our Swami working in a government office? I always said, I wish that would have happened. It would be good to see Swami working in a government office. And therefore, he was taken away to Uravakonda. Means Sheshamaraju Garu, Swami's eldest brother, told Pedda Venkamaraju, I will take him along with me. Bukapatnam doesn't have a good school. Penukonda doesn't have a good school. Uravakonda has a good school. Let him come along with me and let him study over there. Did you know that is how they went to Uravakonda? And Sheshamaraju Garu was a big Telugu and Sanskrit scholar. So he was well known, he was well established, and that he told, let Satya stay with me, he will learn something. If he stays in Puttaparthi, he won't learn anything. And so it was, Satya went to Uravakonda. And even now, you can actually go to Uravakonda and see all of that. I don't know how many of you have actually gone to Uravakonda. Because it is over there that the Avataric mission started. We know, right? Manasa Bhajare Gurucharanam, where was it sung? In Uravakonda. And that stone on which Swami sat and sang is still there. Okay. So, but did you know that the entire 1940, the year of 1940, right, the year of the declaration, 20th October was only the culmination of that. Did you know when it actually started? It started on the 20th of March. It was on the Shivaratri day that there is, in fact, so we have gone a couple of times, I have gone at least 4 or 5 times to Uravakonda. There used to be a Shiva temple near Uravakonda, which was called the Budagavi temple. And Satya used to go there and sit night long. So it was on 20th March, it was a Shivaratri day, Satya had spent the entire night. And after finishing the morning Abhishekam, at around 4 o'clock, Satya comes back home. And nobody knew at home that Satya was not there. Venkama Garu would be sleeping right at the entrance of the house. So Satya knocks and Venkama Garu opens and says, Satya, what is this time? Is this the time to come? 4 o'clock in the morning? Whole night you have been missing? Right? Imagine one of our children doing that. And he says, quickly come inside before Sheshamaraju Garu wakes up, because he will not tolerate this. And it was that, at that moment Satya says, I'll just go to washroom, I'll ease myself and come back. And Swami goes to the washroom, and that's where he has the scorpion bite. Have you all heard? Is this all new to you? I hope it is not. But I'm sure that some of the facts that I'm telling are new. Correct? I hope they are new. Otherwise it's boring. All of this is documented in several books. If you really want to know in depth, there's a book called Love is My Form, written by Padmanabhan sir, not Dr. Padmanabhan sir. Our Sai Towers, the one who has the Sai Towers Hotel, the one who established Sai Towers, Padmanabhan sir. He's the one, he's from Madikeri. He's the one who has he actually has an honorary PhD for that book. Because he actually went from school to school back for 30 years back, and he got all of Swami's attendance register and everything from Swami's school. Right? The original, you should see the attendance register on the 20th of October. It says, Satyanarayan Raju quits school. There's no more attendance register at all from October onwards. Very interesting it is. And even now, Swami's school and the classroom in which Swami sat is still there. And there is a chair now kept, in the classroom in which Swami sat. And so, it started from the 20th of March. It was that scorpion bite. Apparently that scorpion was never found. Okay, it was that legendary scorpion. But Swami screamed at night, early in the morning at 3-4 o'clock when he came back, he screamed and everybody woke up. And it was from then onwards, Swami started behaving very funnily. It's written, every Thursday, it would be as if somebody has come into Swami. All other days he would be like normal, but on Thursdays suddenly Telugu poetry will start, Sanskrit will start, he will start chanting things, and he will start telling what is happening where. He'll become omnipresent, that kind of a thing. And so, obviously, everybody thought that he's getting possessed. Okay, what is happening to Satya? And so much so that some of his classmates in those days would say, normal days he will come to school. On Thursdays, the school will go to his house. Because he would create and give things to boys, children. And there are so many beautiful incidences, right? In fact, one of the instances is that, there was a boy called Abdul Qadir. So one of seniors of Swami. And the Quit India movement of 1942 was about to start. And so, there was a lot of, that Quit India movement, they wanted several people to participate in the Quit India movement. And so this Abdul Qadir, full of patriotism, he also wanted to join that as a young boy. So he comes to Satya and says, can I go and join that movement? Okay, and Satya says, go ahead and join, but don't worry, don't expect things to happen. Abdul Qadir reveals, Swami told in 1940-41, Swami tells, India will gain independence on 15th August 1947. Swami had told that in 1940s, that whatever you do, good only, but India will gain independence only on 15th August 1947. Okay, so all of these very, very strange stories. And everybody wondered why that particular date, so on and so forth. So there are many, many stories, right, starting from 20th of March, then when he was taken to the exorcist, we all know that. And did you know that, he was absolutely mutilated? Swami was mutilated, right? His eyes had become, what used to happen is to remove that so-called ghost inside of Swami. He was absolutely cut, he was shaven head and then his head was cut, and up to here, he will be put in a pit of cow dung. Up to here. Just imagine your entire body is in a pit full of cow dung, okay? And there will be cuts made on your head, and chili and lemon will be poured into it. In fact, even we used to see when Swami's hair would fly, we would see cuts on Swami's head. Even to when Swami was 60 and 55, we would see cuts on Swami's hair when suddenly his hair, when he comes to the ground, the hair will fly, we could see those cuts. Right? And even then, Satya doesn't say anything. It was Eswaramba Garu and Venkama and Parvatama, they are not able to see. They are saying, Arey, when is this ghost going to leave? You're talking about, and this person, his name was Dupura Tiruvala Swami, I think Tirumalachari or something like that. He was considered to be one of the greatest exorcists of that time. Okay, there were legendary stories about that, that exorcist. That it seems just by his appearance, ghosts would run away. He was called to treat Satya, right? And he tried, and eventually the parents, they told him, please, just give us a break. Let Satya come with us, let him recuperate, we will bring him back to you. And, and that exorcist, it seems, he said, no, this seems to be a very stubborn one, I'm almost at the edge. Okay, just give me a few more hours and I will be successful. That night, Swami was, it was a great escape. Okay, Swami was pulled out and they ran away with Swami. They took Satya back because they couldn't see. Okay, and it was at that time, when Swami told, just bring, these rose petals, put it in that water and just place it on my eyes and I'll be fine. Right? It was these set of, so it seems, in order to recuperate from this, it was Sheshamaraju Garu felt that let's take him out for a little picnic. Satya has gone through so much, let him recuperate. And that is why they went to the Virupaksha temple. The Hampi temple that they went to was basically for his recuperation. Right? And we know of everything that happened. You see, so many stories happened at that time. I'm just giving you the tip of the iceberg. There are incredible stories that happened between March of 20th of March rather, and the 20th of October. It was a series. It was not just one fine day, Satya comes back, throws away his books and says, I am Sai. It was a series of events. Right? And so, let's just go back to that 20th of October. It is said that Swami went in the morning, and after 1 hour in school, he comes back. There was nobody at home, only his sister-in-law, Sheshamaraju Garu's wife was at home. Okay, Swami comes back and he throws away his books and he says, I am no more your Satya. And it is said, she describes that she couldn't see him. There was such a huge halo around him that she was telling Satya, what are you doing? Like, what is this? Okay, because she couldn't see Satya. It was such blinding light that was coming from Satya's, body. And I will just tell you couple of stories very quickly. After he said that, who are you? I am Shirdi Baba. He says, I am Sai Baba of Shirdi. Just imagine, this is Uravakonda. People don't know what is their next village. And here is a 14-year-old knicker-wearing boy saying, I am Sai Baba of Shirdi. If I was there, I would have said, I am Venkateshwara of Tirupati. At least Venkateshwara is known. Okay, just imagine, why would you say Sai Baba of Shirdi? See, today, Shirdi Baba is one of the gods. Correct? I was told that in America, there are 3 ways of becoming rich. Either you go to Wall Street, or you go to Silicon Valley, or you open a Shirdi Baba temple. I was actually told that it is because Shirdi Baba is that kind of a magnet which gets money. Mind you, that's only now. Back then, Shirdi Baba was an unknown entity. And here is Satya saying, I am Sai Baba of Shirdi. So it seems 100 kilometers from Uravakonda, there was a great saint who had actually seen Shirdi Baba. And so the news reached up to him that there is some guy claiming to be Sai Baba of Shirdi. And he says, how can it be possible? Means because he felt that he is close to Shirdi Baba, he should have known. Shirdi Baba should have come to him. And so he was brought to, Uravakonda. And the moment Swami sees him, Swami speaks to him exactly like Shirdi Baba had spoken to him at that time. He just comes and falls flat. See, we don't know about these stories. And several such stories are there. Right? So now, let us just sing that one line. Because that Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam, the bhajan that was composed for this, on this day, is one of the most iconic messages that God has given. Right? He simply says, he is actually giving us the formula for what we should do. What is that? O mind, just like Shankaracharya said, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Moodha Mate, he said. You stupid fool, O mind. At least I feel, Swami was far more lenient. He didn't say stupid. He said, Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam. He didn't say Moodha Manasa, right? He didn't say stupid mind. right? So far more lenient than Shankara. So we will sing this and then we will hear a song by our youth, which is from the famous Shirdi Baba movie, Sai Sharanam, Baba Sharanam, right? Manas bhajare Guru Charanam, Dustar bhava sagar taranam. 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 Guru Maharaj, Guru Jai Jai. Guru Maharaj, Guru Jai Jai. Sai Katha Sadguru 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 Jai Jai.
Pandharinaada Sharanam 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 Sai Sharanam Baba Sharanam Sharanam Sai Sharanam Ganga Yamuna Sangama Samanam Ye Kshetra Maya Tirtha Maya Sai Pandurangadu Pranamayu Sai Ye Kshetra Maya Tirtha Maya Sai Pandurangadu Pranamayu Sai Sai Sharanam Baba Sharanam Sharanam Sai Sharanam Ganga Yamuna Sangama Samanam విద్యాపుత్రుడు వేదిన బాలకు అగుపించాడు విఘ్నేశ్వరుడే పిల్ల పాపల కోరిన వారిని కరుణించాడు సర్వేశ్వరుడే తిరగని చక్రం తిప్పిగాదిని అరికతాడు విష్ణురూపుడే మహసశ్యామలు మారుతిగాను మరికొందరికి దత్తాత్రేయుడుగా తద్భావం తద్భవగని దర్శనమిచ్చాడు కనుల చేశాడు సాయి శరణం బాబా శరణం శరణం సాయి శరణం గంగా యమున సంగమ సమానం గగ గగ గమ పమ పమ గరి సరి గగ గగ గమ పమ పమ గరి గగ మమ గ పమ పమ గ ని సని 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 గరి సని ద పమ గగ గగ గమ పమ పమ గరి గగ గగ గమ పమ పమ గరి సరి పాను తాకిడలు అలవరించు దీనులను ఆదరించే తాయదారుడే అజ్ఞానం అలుముకున్న అందులను చీరవేసి అసలు చుట్టూ ఇచ్చినారు వీధి వీధి బిచ్చమెక్కి వారి వారి పాపములు కూర్చుకుంటూ మోక్షమిచ్చే కూర్చుడే చేసుకొనెను దౌత క్రియా సిద్ధిలో సిద్ధుడే అంగములను వేరు చేసి కంఠయోగ సాధనలో ఆత్మశక్తి కాకినాడు సిద్ధుడే సాయి శరణం దివ్య జ్ఞాన సాధనకు సాయి శరణం ఆస్తికులకు సాయి శరణం నాస్తికులకు సాయి శరణం సాయి శరణం ముక్తికి సాయి శరణం ముక్తికి సాయి శరణం భక్తికి సాయి శరణం ముక్తికి సాయి శరణం సాయి శరణం బాబా శరణం శరణం సాయి శరణం గంగా యమున సంగమ సమానం ఏ క్షేత్రమైన తీర్థమైన సాయి మా పాండురంగడు కరుణామయుడు సాయి ఏ క్షేత్రమైన తీర్థమైన సాయి మా పాండురంగడు కరుణామయుడు సాయి పాండురంగ 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 హే పాండురంగ హే పండరీనాథ శరణం 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 పాండురంగ 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 సాయి శరణం బాబా శరణం శరణం సాయి శరణం గంగా యమున సంగమ సమానం ఏ క్షేత్రమైన తీర్థమైన సాయి మా పాండురంగడు కరుణామయుడు సాయి.
So now we have heard the declaration of Swami, and from here onwards, Swami's otherwise linear life suddenly explodes, right? And so what we will do is very quickly we will go through the next few decades now by seeing how thousands of people, Swami never stepped out of the country and yet the entire world came to him. Right? It was Arnold Schulman, one of the first Europeans or what should I say, white people who actually came to Swami. And he describes Puttaparthi as a stone's throw from Stone Age. He said, when he came first time to Puttaparthi, he defines Puttaparthi as a stone's throw from Stone Age. Mind you, Arnold Schulman wanted to write, who wanted to write the biography of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba? Arnold Schulman. He prayed to Swami. He says, Swami, can I write your biography? Swami says, you have not been identified for that. In fact, you have been identified to write somebody else's biography. You know whose biography Arnold Schulman has written? Ramana Maharshi's. Swami said, you have been identified for that job. You see how, what is written by whom is all divinely planned. So, we had thousands and thousands of people from all over the world. And so now let us hear one English song. Right? Even as we think of all of those early devotees like Howard Murphet, like John Hislop, all of them who came in those days, and if you have not read their books, you should read their books to see how they came to Swami. So let's have this beautiful song called Raise Me Up by our sisters. This one of the greatest gifts that Swami has given to all of us is this gift of Sai bhajans. And when we listen to English bhajans and we listen to, do you have any idea how many bhajans there may be composed on Swami? Any idea? Actually, that's a good guess. There are about 100,000 bhajans which has been composed on Swami and still counting. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that what kind of a revolution that is? Over 60 years, more than 100,000 bhajans have been composed in all languages. It was almost as if Swami saying, "You sing whatever you want. You just put my name into it. It will come to me." Right? And therefore, we will listen to another song now, which is, Swami would often tell in his discourses that the one who gave this Nama Sankirtana, the Samuhika Nama Sankirtana, that is collective singing, you know who introduced? Guru Nanak. So let's listen to one Guru Nanak song. Ek onkar satnam करता पुरख निर्पार निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजोनी से भंग गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच मेरी पूजा गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्म गुरु भगवंत गुरु मेरी पूजा गुरु गोविंद गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्म गुरु भगवंत गुरु मेरी पूजा गुरु मेरा देव अलग अभेद सर्व पूज चरण गुरु सेव मेरी पूजा गुरु गोविंद गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्म गुरु भगवंत गुरु मेरी पूजा गुरु का दर्शन देख देख जीवा गुरु का दर्शन देख देख जीवा गुरु के चरण तोय तोय पीवा गुरु मेरा ज्ञान गुरु हृदय गुरु हृदय गुरु गोपाल पुरख भगवान गुरु गोपाल पुरख भगवान कृष्ण नाम भी बोलो, नित्य नित्य जपिए कृष्ण नाम भी बोलो। गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय, गोविंद जय जय गोपाल 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 जय जय, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद 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 जय जय, गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय, गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय, गोपाल जय जय, गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय। एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निपार निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजोनी से भय गुर प्रसाद जप। So just like this was in Punjabi and this is from the Guru Bani, let us now listen to a completely different genre right across the seven seas. We have one Spanish song by our sisters.
Siyahamba kukan yang kueko, Siyahamba kukan yang kueko, Siyahamba kukan yang kueko, Siyahamba kukan yang kueko, Siyahamba, Hamba Siyahamba, Hamba Siyahamba kukan yang kueko, Siyahamba, Hamba Siyahamba, Hamba Siyahamba kukan yang
I don't know whether you are able to kind of comprehend what is happening here. Have you ever seen this kind of variety in any other organization? Right? We are able to go from an English song to a Guru Bani to a Spanish song, and now we will be hearing a Qawwali. You know, this is what Swami has done for us. He has brought the entire world together. This is why it is said, all are one, be alike to everyone. Right? One of Swami's favorite genres, used to be the Qawwali. Right? He used to love the Qawwalis. He would ask students from batches after batches to keep, composing Qawwalis. Because there is one, first of all, Qawwalis go really high. And the other thing is there's a lot of like sawal jawab. There's a lot of question and answers. There's a lot of change of beats. And so Swami used to love that. So let us listen to one such Qawwali presented by our brothers.
लाल मेरी पत रखियो भला झूलेलाल ओ लाल मेरी पत रखियो भला झूलेलाल सिंदरी दार सेवन दास की शाबाश कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दा दम दे अंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दा बेला ओ लाल मेरी ओ लाल मेरी चार चिराग तेरे वर्ण हमेशा चार चिराग तेरे वर्ण हमेशा पंजवा में बारन आई बला दुलेरान ओ पंजवा में बारन पंजवा में बारन आई बला दुलेरान सिंदरी दास सेवन दास की शाबाश कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दा दम दे अंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दा बेला ओ लाल मेरी ओ लाल मेरी तेरी नौबत बाजे सिंध सिंध पीरा तेरी नौबत बाजे नाल बजे गड़ी नाल बला झूलेलाल ओ नाल बजे गड़ी नाल बला झूलेलाल सिंधरी दास सेवन दास की शाबाश कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दम दम दे अंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दा बेला नंबर ओ लाल मेरी ओ लाल मेरी हरदम पीरा तेरी पैर होवे हरदम पीरा तेरी पैर होवे नामी अली बेड़ा और लगा झूलेलाल ओ नाम अली बेड़ा और लगा झूलेलाल सिंदरी दास सेवन दास की शाबाश कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दम दम दे अंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दा बेला ओ लाल मेरी पत रखियो भला झूलेलाल सिंदरी दास सेवन दास की शाबाश कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दम दम दे अंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली नाम मेरा नंबर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली नाम दे अंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली नाम मेरा नंबर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली नाम दे अंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली नाम मेरा नंबर.
The only difference between Sai bhajans or what is done in Bhagwan's presence and elsewhere, is everywhere else people clap after the song. Only in Sai bhajans we clap during the song. Correct, no? And if you notice, no, don't have to clap for this now. Clapping is such a therapeutic thing. You see, there are lots of acupressure points on our hand. And actually through the process of clapping, we are actually pressing all of those pressure points. That is why you see most people who participate in bhajans all the time, very rarely you will find them ill. They don't fall sick much. What tends to usually happen is, we come here and suddenly in bhajans, we sit like this. I don't know why people meditate in bhajans. Bhajans is not the place to meditate. Bhajans is the place where we have to clap and sing full-throated the name of the Lord. Anyway, now we will come to a very interesting portion of the Sai Katha. We are coming towards the end. But in various avatars, the Lord always blessed many, many people. Sages were blessed, saints were blessed, right? Asuras were, kind of blessed, they were done taran. But there were always certain people who played a very special role in the avatar's life. Just like you had Vanaras in Rama's avatar, you had Gopikas in Krishna's avatar. In Satya Sai's avatar, you had these people called the Satya Sai students. Who are they? I don't know. But I will tell you what students meant to Swami. And this was narrated by one of the early devotees from Hyderabad. This was the time when Swami suddenly, he would take his car and drive down from Puttaparthi to Hyderabad. Swami himself would drive, or in the middle of the afternoon, Swami will simply decide by night he will reach there. So one of the devotees, I won't take their name, but they were telling us that oftentimes they would have gone for a movie. When they come back, they will see Swami standing outside. Swami used to stay in their house. Because unannounced, Swami will land up outside their house. And they were saying, Swami, why didn't you at least send us a telegram that you are coming? Okay, we wouldn't have gone. No, parledu. Swami will say, don't worry, I've got some important purchasing to do. So one of the devotees was telling us that back in the 1960s, Swami wanted, when Purnachandra Auditorium was being constructed, Swami had come to Hyderabad to buy chairs. And so next day, that night Swami landed. Next day they go to the bazaar to buy chairs. And now just imagine Swami is going along with them to buy the chairs. They enter into the shop and Swami asks, how much is this? So the person says, 18 rupees. Swami says, no, give it for 12. Swami is bargaining. And that man says, no, if you want, you take it for 18. Otherwise, I'm not giving it. So Swami said, no, I'm not paying anything more than 12. So the devotee who was with Swami, he was feeling so cringe. Swami, leave it, Swami. Why are you negotiating? God doesn't negotiate with anybody, right? So Swami said, no, undu. You wait. Okay, so they said, will you give it for 12 or not? Okay, and then he says, no, I'm not giving it for 12. And so Swami turns and he's about to leave, Suddenly this man says, okay, take it for 12. Okay, and so Swami buys chairs. Okay, and then as they come out, Swami says, oh, nice, good deal we got. So when Swami came back home, this devotee was asking, he was so kind of, why did Swami do this? So he said, Swami, why are you doing this, Swami? You are Lakshmi is at your feet, right? Why were you trying to negotiate? And you know what Swami says? 1960s, Swami saying, You don't know. I have to start saving one rupee from now, because a couple of decades from now, I'm going to establish a university where I will give free education. For that, I should start saving money now. You see, just imagine, actually the two had no connection, right? But to let the world know that I am going to have a university. You see, no other ashram, Iradi sir, you must have heard of Krishnadas Iradi sir, you know that very tough voice which will sing in the bhajan. He was telling in 1950s when Shivaratri bhajan, only 4 singers were there in Prashanti Nilayam. Only 4. Vijayamma Garu, Raja Reddy sir, Mohan Rao sir and Iradi sir. So they were singing for half an hour each. That is, one singer would sing for half an hour, okay, then the next singer will sing for half an hour, so that at least you will have 2 hours in between, 1.5 hours gap. So by 5 o'clock in the morning, he was completely, fatigued out, all of them. And they were thinking, what is this? How is this Shivaratri bhajans going to happen in the future? If this is the condition now, if we are not there, how will bhajans continue? In the morning when Swami is coming for bhajans, he says, Yentra, means he tells Krishnadas Iradi, he says, what were you thinking? Who will come and sing bhajans? A time will come when my students will come and sing bhajans over here. Okay, and he was telling us, when he heard this, he was thinking, students. Swami didn't say devotees will come and sing. Students in an ashram. Right, it was absolutely unthought of at that moment. You see, that was the special bonding between Swami and Swami students. So this is a song that we will kind of dedicate for So we will have one more song which will be for the relationship between Swami and his students. It is just like what Krishna had with his gopis. Okay? So let us just, and I will tell you that don't worry if you are not from the Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, because Swami made it very clear that SSS IHL student is not necessarily SSS student. Please mark my words. SSS IHL students, Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning students, are not necessarily Sri Satya Sai students. Sri Satya Sai students are different, SSS IHL students are different. We may never get an opportunity to become SSS IHL students, but we all have the opportunity to become SSS students. Correct? Good. Okay, so let's have this one song, and after this, we'll have one more and then we will finish. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Gopi Gopala Lala Rasa Mandalamai Gopi Gopala Lala Rasa Mandalamai Gopi Gopala Lala Rasa Mandalamai Tata Dehita Sugandha Niratata Kahivai Gopi Gopala Lala Rasa Tata Dehita Sugandha Niratata Kahivai Gopi Gopala Bala Rasa Mandala Mahi. takita yamuna sani re ni re kare ni de ni re sa takita yamuna ni sare ni da ba ma gari takita yamuna ni takita yamuna ni kare ni da ma gare takita yamuna ni takita yamuna ni sa sa ni da da ba ba ma gare takita yamuna ni takita yamuna ni sa sa ni da ni da ba da ba takita yamuna ni takita yamuna ni takita yamuna ni tagamruta jagamaga sharir tagamruta sharir bali bali jaya surdas bali bali jaya surdas dasa sugati parai gopi gopal bal rasa mandala mani atadita sugandh niradata kaivai gopi gopal bal rasa mandala mani So we are really running out of time now. So maybe we will just end with one song. I'm a bit in a dilemma whether we should finish with a fast song or a slow song. Both means Girish brother over here will throw the whole lot of us out. We will do the slow song and then quickly do the fast song. I'll tell you why. Because I think that the Katha of the Lord, the story of the Lord cannot end without us discussing how he passed away. It's very important that we also keep in mind what he did for us. I'm sure for most of you, you have always experienced Swami's omnipresence. But for some of us who are Partivasis, who live in Parthi, Swami was a living presence for us. It is like one of your own going, and that too, then that is Swami. So while I will not spend too much time, talking about the last few months, I can only say one thing is that we will never be able to understand why he did what he did. But then that is not our job to understand. It is our job to accept. See, Swami would always say something. Swami used to say, love my uncertainty. One of our professors very beautifully said, far from loving his uncertainty, we do not even accept his uncertainty. The first step is we dislike his uncertainty, right? We don't want uncertainty in our lives. We want certainty in our lives. So the first step is to move from disliking uncertainty to accepting uncertainty. And then we can move from accepting uncertainty to loving my uncertainty. You see, the how we have to actually go, we should start loving uncertainty in our lives. And possibly one of the greatest testimonies of Swami's uncertainty was Swami's leaving. And I can only compare that to two other instances, and that is when Rama left Ayodhya. When Rama left Ayodhya, do you mean to say that Ayodhya Vasis did not pray and beg for the Lord to stay back? Did they not? Do you think that our prayers were bigger than or greater than Ayodhyavasi's prayers to keep Swami back over here? The second example is that of when Lord Krishna leaves Gokul to go to Mathura, and Gopikas, considered to be the paramount of all devotion. There is nothing greater than the love of Gopikas. Swami calls it Parama Prema. There is nothing which is higher than that. Swami keeps them right at the epitome of all devotion. And even they had to be let gone. Okay? So in front of them, when we were, when I think of 2011, I feel, no, definitely Swami, I will never be able to understand. All I can do is to accept and to continue to love you. And this song is in tribute to that mother. Uyirum Neeye, Udalum Neeye, Uravum Neeye, Taaye. Uyirum உடலும் நீயே உறவும் நீயே தாயே தன் உடலில் சுமந்து உயிரை பகிர்ந்து உருவம் தருவாய் நீயே தன் உடலில் சுமந்து உயிரை பகிர்ந்து உருவம் தருவாய் தாயே உன் கண்ணில் வழியும் ஒரு துளி போதும் கடலும் உருகும் தாயே உன் கண்ணில் வழியும் ஒரு துளி போதும் கடலும் உருகும் தாயே உன் காலடி மட்டும் தருவாய் தாயே ஸ்வர்க்கம் என்பது பொய்யே உயிரும் நீயே உருவும் நீயே உறவும் நீயே தாயே படைத்தார் மண்ணை படைத்தார் காற்றும் மழையும் ஒலியும் படைத்தார் வெண்ணை படைத்தார் மண்ணை படைத்தார் காற்றும் மழையும் ஒலியும் படைத்தார் பூமிக்கு அதனால் நிம்மதியில்லை பூமிக்கு அதனால் நிம்மதியில்லை சாமி தவித்தார் சாமி தவித்தார் தாயே படைத்தார் உயிரும் நீயே உடலும் நீயே உறவும் நீயே தாயே தன் உடலில் சுமந்து உயிரை பகிர்ந்து உருவம் தருவாய் தாயே உயிரை பகிர்ந்து உருவம் தருவாய் நீயே உயிரும் நீயே உடலும் நீயே உறவும் நீயே தாயே I promise this is the last song because we should end it on a happy and it should end it on a celebratory note because Satya Sai cannot go. Satya Sai doesn't go. Satya Sai stays in our heart. I feel the only difference that has happened after 24th of April 2011 is Swami's address has changed. From Yajur Mandiram, he has moved to our Hridaya Mandiram. As long as he stays in our Hridaya Mandiram, Satya Sai cannot go. Because whoever goes to him has to get their jholi, their buckets and their baskets full. And so we will end this with this one Kavali that was written for Swami. And before we end, once again, dear brothers and sisters, my heartfelt gratitude and my pranams to all of you to have sat through. And I'm told that this is not the last program. So really, really heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you. And more importantly, I want to thank all the brothers and sisters over here. Believe me, they hardly had any time. Really a big round of applause from my end for them. Because we just had one practice. And many of these brothers did not even have that one practice. Right? So they are all brothers who have come from all over the place. From North Carolina, from Florida. Right? And we have never had a practice. We have just sat over here and we have just decided to offer our best to Swami. And we pray that Swami please accept it as your little children trying to do something, that will make you happy. Because to see a smile on his face is the only treasure for our lives. So my gratitude to you all and my special gratitude to all of you brothers and sisters for singing, for playing for Swami. दिल ये धड़कता है तेरा नाम लेके चेहरे पे रंगे बहार आती है हो तुम्ही से पाऊं खुशियाँ साई हो मुझ में भी तेरी खुशबू समाई है हो तेरे दर पे जो भी आया तुमने खुशियों से झोली भरी है दर पे जो भी आया ओ मेरे साईं बाबा, खुशियों से तुमने सबकी झोली भरी है।
खुशियों से तुमने सबकी झोली भरी है, खुशियों से तुमने सबकी झोली भरी है।
झोली भरी है ओ बाबा, झोली भरी है, खुशियों से तुमने सबकी झोली भरी है।
खुशियों से तुमने सबकी झोली भरी है, खुशियों से तुमने सबकी झोली भरी है।
नजरें उठी है तेरे जलवे में, तेरे इन कदमों में जन्नत बसी है, तुझ में हमारी सांसें बसी है।
तुझ में हमारी सांसें भरी है, तुझ में हमारी सांसें बसी है।
तेरे दर पे जो भी आया ओ मेरे साईं बाबा, खुशियों से तुमने सबकी झोली भरी है।
खुशियों से तुमने सबकी झोली भरी है, खुशियों से तुमने सबकी झोली भरी है।
मोहब्बत ने भर दी है दूरी दिलों की, साईं के बंदे अब हम हुए हैं। धनी समा धनी गमगरे नीध सा समगम धनी दम धनी रे सधनी दम सनि धनी दम नि दम दम गम सगम सगम धनी गम धनी समगम धनी दम धनी रे सधनी दम सनि धनी दम नि दम दम गम धनी सा गम धनी सा। मोहब्बत ने भर दी है पूरी दिलों की,
मोहब्बत ने भर दी है पूरी दिलों की,
दूरी दिलों की ओ बाबा, दूरी दिलों की। मोहब्बत ने भर दी है पूरी दिलों की,
मोहब्बत ने भर दी है पूरी दिलों की।
पाया है जब से ये प्यार तुम्हारा, तेरे लिए जीते और हम मिटे हैं, तुझसे हमारी जिंदगी बनी है।
तुझसे हमारी जिंदगी बनी है।
तेरे दर पे जो भी आया ओ मेरे साईं बाबा, खुशियों से तुमने सबकी झोली भरी है।
खुशियों से तुमने सबकी झोली भरी है, खुशियों से तुमने सबकी झोली भरी है।
महताब ए साईं खुदा तू क्या है, तेरे ही रहमत से दुनिया बसी है। रब ने बनाई जब मोहब्बत,
रब ने बनाई जब मोहब्बत, रब ने बनाई जब मोहब्बत,
बंदों ने तेरे ही की है इबादत।
बंदों ने तेरी की है इबादत, बंदों ने तेरी की है इबादत।
कैसे बताऊं दिल ये क्या है, कैसे बताऊं दिल ये क्या है, जान जिगर तुझ पे है वारी, जानो 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 जिगर तुझ पे है वारी। मेरे साई मेरे बाबा मेरे साई बाबा
Oh